16 forever. When you're young, you want to be 16 forever. When you're older, you wish you were 16. But the price of silver seems to be 16 forever because it's about 16 now. It's been 16 for a while. So, yeah, not the 16 forever we wanted. And you can get physical ounce of silver in the 16s. So, I mean, that tells you the difference between the spot price and the price of getting a physical coin are pretty similar. Now, I do talk to some silver bugs who are not a part of the YouTube thing, who occasionally browse the internet, and some of them are talking about, oh yeah, you know, they kept silver down, it's manipulated still, yeah, there's no hope. Well, if you can buy a physical round for like $16.70, then that is the price. I know there's a whole thing about, you know, contracts and whatever, but the fact of the matter is that what the price for you to get your hand on something physical, I mean, that's the price. And I know in the short term, I'm talking about manipulation, but it's been like, what, a decade since I've been watching YouTube. So, I mean, yeah, there's been a decade for things to sort themselves out. And really, if the price of silver was not in the 16s, then someone would offer you a lot more than 16 to buy it. And it would cost you a lot more than 16 to buy a physical ounce. So that's kind of my statement there, which in the past has been controversial in some circles. Maybe it's still controversial in some circles, but I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, look at the precious metals. I mean, not a lot of action for the gold and silver, relatively speaking, considering that, you know, 9 years ago, the stuff would go up a lot and down a lot and up a lot and down a lot, and now it's not moving a lot. Although platinum been getting smashed. Platinum's at economic crisis levels, and it's one of those thin markets. And I know there's the gold to platinum ratio was screaming like, you know, go long gold, go short platinum pair, but I mean, I'm not seeing any relief. And looking at the numbers is one thing, but behind every number, there's a reason for sellers and buyers. I know a lot of traders don't care about the reason. Like catalytic converters. For platinum class metals, the biggest chunk of the market is catalytic converters. So if companies are not buying as much platinum for catalytic converters, then it takes an awful lot of other things to go on to bring the price up. I mean, with silver, I think silver roughly half is industrial demand, half is, consumer demand. The other half is things like, you know, bullion, jewelry, silverware, things that are not consumed. That's a very rough estimate. But, I mean, for the investor portion to overcome the industrial portion, that's a lot of purchasing. And there are a lot of people who are underwater on silver waiting for the price to go to a certain level so they get their money back, while others have capitulated and just said, no, I need the money now, gotta sell now. So there's forces in the silver market. One is this investor overhang that was used by, there was some guy in Germany who was doing a thesis based upon the silver market. Years ago I had talked to him, he was very interesting, and then poof, he disappeared. Is this guy still watching us? If he is, I want to hear his input. I want to hear how his thesis went. He had come to a lot of conclusions. One of them, which was, he said there's like silver has a permanent floor because of there's investors who just always believe, and as long as those investors always believe, it has like a certain floor. But also, he said for it to go up, there's a lot of investor overhang where people purchased a lot and they're waiting for a price to sell it. So that's kind of my quick, I guess, silver update. Oh, and so my two silverbug friends who play chess were telling me how that one website that was big on silver that attacked me several times because I was saying stuff that was contrary to them. Apparently the site's down and they're selling it or something. I don't know. But really, it's just a game, because when we're on these YouTube and you have people who are like semi-anonymous, who don't use the real name, they don't show themselves. I mean, really, it's a game, because you don't know who that person really is. They have a vague idea of who we are on YouTube, but really, someone's stage presence is often different than their in-person presence. So it's like a game, like a Survivor or Big Brother. It's like a reality game, but we got YouTube channels instead of TV. But I think it'd be a lot of fun to do like a Survivor or Big Brother type with YouTubers, like and see how that goes. However, maybe it's not a good idea, because there might be a lot of hurt feelings in the end, and people wouldn't really be amused by the antics and so forth. But so yeah, I'm this is me. Maybe a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of weight control. A few years ago I was like really skinny. Now I'm like at 170, but a lot of the muscle is like, it's not obviously in the upper body. I got legs, solid legs. I got a strong core, and I don't think too much of a belly, right? I'm more in black to fool you guys, but yeah. So I'm still going, still looking at the markets. And remember Scopelabs, Greg Simmons? So I actually talked to him a few weeks ago, and we were talking about things, and his theory is that it won't be until the cryptos collapse that the precious metals will rise. His theory is that the crypto market was so explosive and speculative, and it was kind of the opposite of precious metals in some ways, where it's something that's not real, something that you can't hold, in some ways opposite of gold and silver. And he's saying that when that collapses, people, a lot of the investors will seek real things again, which kind of makes sense. Because right now the investors aren't really seeking the precious metals that much. Although silver at 16 isn't like silver at 5 during the crisis, but I guess who knows what happened. But back then silver wasn't on the minds of people, and silver has been on the minds of a large group of people. So if it goes, there are a lot of people who are saying, okay, it's on our minds, so if it goes to a certain level, I'll buy. Goes down a certain level. This is just my anecdotal observations and opinions, and I'm not crunching numbers here, just observing things. But really, I think the sentiment is the biggest thing that I can observe to give me a sense. And a lot of times the sentiment is, from my opinion, is more accurate than many other things. I've been watching like sentiment type things for 10 years, and it seems like sentiment indicators have a stronger correlation to what's going to happen than the numbers, the charts and whatever. But that's just my opinion. So thanks for watching, and everybody be well. And yeah, I miss you guys. It was so much fun. I mean, going to do YouTube meetups, going to estate sales, going to New York City to meet with people, and the conferences, the excitement. Yeah, that was fun. Now it's like, I guess, quiet. Thank you.